Okay, well, here we go. Here's one from the stream. I'm a woman and I've been playing games for years since I was a little kid. I never thought about having my gender represented once up until this recent phenomena. All I want is good games. And as do I. Uh, I will happily play as a female character as long as that's something that, as long as that's the developer's vision, as long as the character's well written. I'll play as anything. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is the story good? Is the gameplay good? I've never once thought, well, oh, this game starring a black character, I'm not playing. I mean, that's fucking stupid. And I'm not going to say there's nobody out there like that, because there probably is. And if you go by the social justice logic, there definitely is, because they're like, I'm not playing any more games with white men as main characters. So they're the ones being discriminatory. It's actually pathetic. I mean, I just thought that fiction was supposed to be representative of the creator's imagination and not society. Yes, you can include social commentaries in your stories, but just because it doesn't reflect the real world exactly doesn't mean that it's somehow some form of ist. Because they love to throw the words at you that end in ist. Well, that's racist, that's sexist, but it doesn't stop. Because you get the people the developers that are willing to listen and willing to add this, and then they find something else to harp on. So you give, and they want to take a mile. It's just, I feel like the only way to really stop the crap is just for people to flat out say, no, I'm going to develop what I want to. I'm going to tell the story I want to tell, write the characters I want to write. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. I mean, in a sense, I think some companies are afraid to do that because it's a business. They want to maintain good customer relations. But they're going to learn, if they keep pandering, that it's not going to work out in their favor, because these people that complain the most are never happy. They go through life with a list, and they carry it around in their back fucking pocket, and whenever they see something, they whip out that little list, and they go down it, and they're like, well, does this include this? No. Does it include this? No. Does it include this? Oh, no. Well, this must be racist. And then they start their little hashtag campaigns. They start their little social media outrage, and it never fucking ends. And it's wrong. We're also obsessed, as much as I love the internet, we're also obsessed with knee-jerk reactions. We're always looking for the next bandwagon to jump on about who to be pissed off out next, who to take the moral high ground against and say, we're better than you because we think this and you don't, and so therefore you are a piece of shit. And that's just not how reality works, because there's so many things that get ignored. The context doesn't matter anymore. They flat out said context doesn't matter. How do you do that? The context is all that matters, because it creates the scenario of the situation that you are speaking on. If you don't know the context, you don't really have a place to speak on this. Of course, they would tell you, well, you're not of this race or of this gender, so you have no room to speak. And no. I mean, are they really trying to tell us that developers that happen to be white men can only write white men? So what are you saying? I mean, that to me would create some boring ass fucking games or boring stories and books and movies if you can only write characters that you have personal experience on. Like, what? So we're all going to stick to our own? Is that equality? I don't think it is. I thought that was like segregation. I mean, what are we trying to do here? Separate everybody into their own little corners and say, well, since you aren't this, or you don't do this, you can't speak on this, or you can't write this. And it's fantasy. It's time to get a reality check and realize that not everything in fantasy is reflective of reality, and vice versa. That's just not how things work.